Hi, good evening. Happy Friday night. Just unwinding from my busy day. So I have had a wellness business for the past 6 years. So I work in it still, and today was my wellness day. So I saw clients today from 10 till 4:30. Yeah, 4:30. And I just want to share a little bit reflecting on my day today and yesterday. So I did the live yesterday, and then after I got off the live, all the nerves, all the stories we tell ourselves come up. And then I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to repurpose this because I want to be able to look back one day. And because I started and I'm taking messy action, I want to be able to look back one day and be like, because I did this in this moment, look how far I've come. I want to be able to go back to next year, October 24th, 2025, I want to be like, because I started in October of 2024, look at the growth, look at the evolution. Was yesterday's live perfect? No. Am I I'm proud that I did it, but it doesn't mean that it was life-changing in my own opinion. Again, we're our own worst critic. So anyways, I repurposed it. I put it on YouTube because again, I think that's really important to share a message, share a story, and get it out there. And so I'm sharing all of these are going to be on my YouTube channel. And so my question to you is, how can you take messy action, and what are some things that you can do to start repurposing what you're doing, right? And let's work smarter, not always harder, right? That saying, that type of mentality. I made notes again. So yeah, I'm also going to record a short episode for my podcast because I feel like the messaging I had around the customer service, customer experience is really important messaging. And I think that will really resonate with my listeners on my podcast as well too. So one of the key takeaways from today though, is I was asked to speak as a panelist. I didn't bring my water with me. Excuse me. I was asked to speak as a panelist a couple weeks ago for an event tonight. And I was super excited. I said, yes, this person is an amazing person. Her name's Emma Jack. She's very heart-centered. Love her. She's just a genuine person, uplifting in business. And so I said, yes. And then today my inner critic was on point, so mean, terrible, telling me all, the stories we tell ourselves, right? About who are you to do this? No one's going to care. Why are you sharing? You're a fraud. You're fake. All the shit we tell ourselves, right? That we talk ourselves up. I was even thinking of excuses. I was like, how can I get out of this? I was like, oh my God, maybe I'll get a flat tire. Is that terrible to think of those things, to try to think of ways to be able to get out of something when really it's the fear? And I was like, okay, this is a goal of mine, is to be able to share more of my story, share more of my experience, to be able to inspire and help and support other people. And this is the first step. So I had to have this big pep talk with myself, my inner mean girl, and say, we're doing it. You're committed to this. And so a couple things that I did to kind of help regulate myself with that is I always have this crystal anytime I'm doing speaking. So I put it in my pocket. I should know the name of this crystal. I don't remember, but I know it helps with my throat chakra. So anyways, I always have this. So I had it in my pocket, and I just took some deep breaths, and I was like, you know what? Emma was super chill. I'm like, we're just going and we're having a conversation. We're sharing our experiences, and there's people in the room that are going to value from hearing this experience, and that they can implement it in their own life and their own business. And that's exactly what happened today. Is I went and we had a beautiful discussion, conversation. There was about 30 to 40 women and some men also in the room that were there tonight. And I just shared, Emma asked some questions, and it really helped and share my story. There was a couple of questions I should have answered that better. I could have done that differently. But that's how we practice, and that's how we get better. And now I have these questions. So it's in the future, I can practice what would I say differently. Maybe I can share it on here, some of the stories, and do a post about it. The point is I took that messy action, and afterwards I had people come up to me and say, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I saw you on Instagram. It's so great to connect you. Or I knew you, from a couple of years ago. It's so great to see you again. And just being in the room and building community and conversations, it's the key to life, and it's the key to business. And that's what keeps us going, because there's so many of us that are ready to throw in the towel on days, but it's having that community and that support that make the world a difference, and stepping out of your comfort zone. Because I shared my story, I shared about having burnout and, some of the choices I was making and how I started to choose different for my life. And so I think, again, stepping out of that comfort zone, and I'm honored to have been a panelist, and so I just know it's going to continue to grow and evolve from here with my speaking and me doing these lives and getting more comfortable and taking that messy action. So my takeaways for you tonight are: 1, what is some messy action you can take? Because you're never going to get better unless you start somewhere. And you're never going to be able to celebrate and be proud of yourself and proud of this version of you in a couple of years if you don't start now. So what are some ways you can start now to take that messy action in your business? And what are ways you can repurpose? Can you post stuff on YouTube? Can you post on your podcast? Can you post on your Facebook group? What are ways that you can take what you're sharing and repurpose it? Because there's other platforms that you can use it that are also valuable to hear your message as well too. So that's all for tonight. I hope you have an amazing night, and I will see you next week, because I'm not doing it on the weekend and I'm setting those boundaries for myself. And so, yeah, bye for now. Have a beautiful evening.